Hello there! Welcome to another REDUX episode of Curihistory. Today I want to take a look at one of history's most bizarre military blunders, the Battle of Karánsebes. Before we go into the story, I want to point out that most of what I will say about the actual battle is more hearsay than fact. I will go over the facts at the end. And also I want to apologize in advance for any name that I might mispronounce. 1788. The Austrian Habsburgs had fought many battles against the Ottoman forces over the possession of the Balkans. Twice had the Ottoman armies laid siege to Vienna, and twice disaster was narrowly averted. Now the Habsburgs hoped to strike back, taking the battle to the Ottomans instead. Joseph II of House Habsburg-Lorraine, the Holy Roman Emperor himself, would lead an army about 100,000 strong to seize as much territory as they could. This was no easy undertaking. Even past their prime, the Ottomans were a considerable threat. Fortunately for Joseph, his ally, the Russian Empire, was also making war with the Ottomans, so it seemed to be the perfect time to attack. Only a few years prior, the Russian Empire managed to wrestle the territory of Crimea from the Ottomans. Austria was involved in this war too, but didn't come out with any territorial gains for themselves. This time, the emperor hoped, his vast army could successfully occupy some areas of the Ottoman Balkans. In order to muster an army as large as he did, Joseph had to rely a lot on his non-German speaking subjects like Croats, Czechs, Italians and Hungarians. Suffice it to say that communication was a problem, as many of the foot soldiers did not speak German, while the officers did not speak the language of their troops. This was an issue in most cases, but it would turn out to be a fatal one here. On the night of the 21st of September, the army made camp on the river Timiș near the city of Karánsebes in modern-day Romania. A contingent of hussars was sent to scout for Ottoman troops, which they could not find any signs of. They did, however, stumble among a group of travelers, most likely Romani people, who sold the soldiers some liquor. A bit later in the night, a group of infantrymen also crossed the river and found the now drunk hussars. They demanded a share of the alcohol, which the hussars denied, probably thinking themselves as above the foot soldiers in the social standing. A scuffle broke out and the hussars started building makeshift defenses around their barrels of liquor. A shot was fired by either side and the brawl turned into a fight with lethal weapons. During the confusion, a man yelled, "Turki, Turki!" and suddenly a panic broke out. The soldiers fled back to the camp while still shooting at each other. An Austrian officer tried to stop the fighting by yelling, "Halt! Halt!" So, stop. But unfortunately the non-German speakers misheard it as Allah, which was a commonly used Ottoman battle cry. The hussars used the speed of their horses to storm through the camp, but this caused even more confusion as the artillery commander on the hill thought this was an Ottoman raid and ordered to barrage the hussars with cannonball fire. Now the entire camp was convinced there was an Ottoman attack happening and soldiers started fleeing the camp. The panic was so great that the soldiers started firing at each other while they retreated. Emperor Joseph himself was pushed off his horse by his confused troops and landed in a creek. After finishing their retreat, the Austrian officers started investigating what happened, eventually finding out that no Ottoman attack took place that night. There is a reported 10,000 casualties from this battle against themselves, though historians believe the actual number to be much smaller, ranging most likely in the hundreds up to 1,000. No matter the actual number, the army was now out of position and in terrible shape, so they could no longer defend Karánsebes. The Ottomans seized the opportunity and blockaded the river Danube. So on that day, the Austrian army seemingly defeated itself. Not that the war was going well for Austria in general. Malaria and other diseases had struck the camps and more soldiers fell to these sicknesses than the friendly fire incident. Even the emperor himself succumbed to malaria. While some battles could be won, most importantly the siege of Belgrade, overall the campaign was behind expectations. The Russian forces were not fast enough on their front to unite with the Austrian forces, and malaria took a heavy toll. Karánsebes was just one more hardship in an orchestra of disasters. Leopold II, who succeeded the fallen Joseph on the throne, also had to make sure to get the troops back home. Prussia was gearing up for war, and they would likely join on the Ottoman side. A hasty peace treaty secured Austria some territory in Croatia. Everything else they had to give back. So was Karánsebes a military blunder of amazing proportions? Yes and no. Most of the story is probably embellished. There definitely was an uncoordinated retreat by the Austrians, with seemingly no reason, but if a brawl between drunken soldiers has really caused it, is not certain. Neither are the other details of the story. Yet even so, this incident hardly caused the disappointing outcome of the war, but it makes for a curious story, and this is what Curihistory is all about. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Curihistory, and if you did, please leave a like and a comment and subscribe for more curious histories. Also, a special thanks to my animator, whose incredible art makes these episodes worth a watch. Until next time, bye! Do you remember the 21st night of September? The Austrians certainly do.